time to revisit the topic of incarnation again, because yours truly has been cited by CBR. You know who, your favorite SAO YouTuber, the one bringing you all the news and detailed insights. It is I, of course, Gamerturk. I have to say, it is awkwardly telling when they cite me for the fundamental information of their topic, but didn't even spell my name correctly. Now let me start this seriously. The article is not particularly terrible, just wordy and convoluted as expected from a mainstream outlet like CBR, because you gotta get that SEO and links to other articles going somehow, as well as understandable oversimplifications given the target audience, that being people who are likely not extremely involved mainstream anime fans. However, the reason I am actually addressing this in a video is so that maybe CBR could be interested in someone who actually has a better grasp of the series to write about interesting topics, but even more so because goddamn, people just love jumping on the idea that Reki is trying to make piss-eyes canon with Progressive, which is not the case, and getting cited by a huge website was just an excuse to address that finally. Now, let me give you the context first without going into spoiler territory. There's a skill called meditation in Sword Art Online, and early on in Aincrad, Kirito manages to trigger a special condition to not only obtain this skill, but also get it with a higher amount of proficiency along with the awakening mod for the meditation skill that makes it a lot more potent. Later in the story, in a very dire situation that I am not going to provide you the context of, Kirito manages to get the skill activated and save himself and those around him by the skin of his teeth. Asuna later recalls the moments and states that Kirito's eyes did have a golden shine to it when he had the buff active. As a result, a lot of people are thinking that this is the source of incarnation, or rather more realistically, that whenever Kirito uses incarnation, he also invokes an incarnate meditation skill of some sorts that leads to the piss eyes you see in the anime, solely because the Progressive Light Novels described him with having a golden shine in his eyes. Mind you, the golden eye shine in this case, it's not the only eye shine effect in the game. You have seen a similar effect when Kirito is using his sword skill to find Sachi in a different color. I'd love to say there's nothing particularly wrong with this theory, but there's kind of plenty wrong with it. Just to be on the safe side, I am speaking with current available information only, with a whole lot of retcon chains. Sure, this may indeed become a retcon in like 60 years, who knows? It's just as likely as any other random theory to ever exist. But given the current information and rules, it's just a completely baseless theory that doesn't have legs to stand on. The CBR article too tries to tease the theory that I mentioned with mentioning some correct information, like only Kirito receiving the piss eyes treatment in the anime, despite Asuna is known to have it used twice in SAO. Shiranami has... wait, who's Shiranami again? Who are these at least 7 other people? I mean, yes, a lot of people use incarnation and Alicization, definitely more than 7, so not particularly wrong about that, but still... The point is, there's plenty of incarnation, or in the case of pre-Alicization content, proto-incarnation as we call it. Just check my original video for context if you're interested. It is only Kirito who is ever depicted with the anime original piss eyes, and even at that, the anime is extremely inconsistent, where he's shown with eyes when he shouldn't have been, and shown without them when he should have been. I'm gonna give the theory the benefit of the doubt here and assume the most reasonable version of it to debunk here. That is, whenever Kirito uses proto or normal incarnation, he also casts meditation with awakening mods on himself, which causes the piss eyes that you see in the anime. The first and certainly the least egregious issue is that the visual override of your own incarnation is pretty much affected by how you see yourself, not by how you actually look. That's why it's perfectly reasonable for things like the Black Worm code to manifest, that Kirito would have not only seen most of through his vision, but also through, mirrors exist, but not at all reasonable for a random eye color change that he does not even know exists, let alone know how it actually looks, as it only manifests during skill usage, and is such a minor detail in the grand scheme of the image that is the Black Swordsman. I mean, it is the Black Swordsman, not the swordsman with a liver failure after all. The second reason is that you need to remember, during their final battle, Kayaba was so surprised by Kirito not instantly disappearing that he was willing to get killed by him without reacting at all. He was so shocked by a power beyond the limits of the system that he found a new goal in his now digital life to observe and chase. Now, If you subscribe to the theory that meditation with awakening mode is part of his incarnation, you're gonna have to explain why Kayaba was so utterly baffled by a literal battle skill that he had a hand in designing, which you can get within the first 10 floors of Aincrad. It's a basic skill. The theory alone is completely incompatible within the arc it exists in to begin with. And the third and probably the clearest reason of them all is that, well, meditation is a skill in the game Sword Art Online. Sure, you can use meditation there. Sure, you can call upon its effects via proper incarnation in Underworld. You can't exactly do the same thing in Gun Gale Online, where normal incarnation cannot be in effect, and you are limited to proto-incarnation, as in, you cannot conjure stuff out of nothing. GGO simply does not even have such battle skills to begin with, and the entire theory just falls apart when your claim is based on the meditation skills awakening mod. There are some other things I can mention from this article, like how much they oversimplified what incarnation is while citing me, despite the first thing I say at the beginning of the explanation is, all in all, incarnation is the blanket term of overwriting the system with willpower. However, that is an extreme simplification of the concept. And there are actually different showcases of incarnation throughout the series/timeline, so let me clarify that. Or, you know, how they mentioned Kirito should be able to make use of this skill as long as he keeps converting his account to other games, not realizing he literally started off with a fresh account after the events of Fairy Dance, so zero access to his original SAO account, not that it was directly compatible anyways. But considering the article itself is not trying to make a point, but rather just vaguely throwing stuff at the wall for anyone interested to have a look, even stating the anime original edition does not really have an explanation in the anime itself, I guess there's no need to dwell on it too much, is there? Either way, I want to end this by highlighting that it is definitely not impossible that Reki is trying to add the piece eyes retroactively with Progressive. It will take a lot of retcons, 99% of which literally cannot exist within the Progressive series anyway, so that's not happening, which only leads to more problems with such a retcon attempt. So given currently established information within the series per 2022, it's really not a theory that can stand on its legs, and highlighting that was pretty much the goal of this video, to prevent people running wild with a theory that strictly clashes with current known information. I would like to thank CBR for citing me. Hopefully next time they'll manage it without having a typo in my name, and my offer still stands. I'm Turkish, which nowadays means cheap workforce anyways, so contact me if you want to. But hey, you guys' viewership and memberships help just fine too. As always, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more, Twitter and Facebook for the fastest news. Huge thanks to all members and patrons, and I will see you all next time. Until then, stay cool.